So I believe in the little idea that the best way to improve is by having a sparring partner of sorts. And so I spend more time fighting my friend Jaeger or some true streamers like Shady and Dimchu than I do playing the game with random people online. And after a few weeks of being somewhat busy, I hop back onto Guilty Gear Strife and I messed about in the rank tower. For those who don't know, in Strife there are a bunch of forts from 1 to 10, which basically represent your rank. The more you win, the higher up you move, and you no longer can play on lower forts. The thing is, there is also a secret 11th fort called Celestial, and in each month there is a rank reset that kicks most of us out of it, so we have to fight our way back to Celestial. And yeah, so I was doing my Celestial challenge and I won 5 out of 6 games, which made me a Celestial gamer, yay! Thing is, I was a little surprised by an interesting trend I noticed. Of the 10 or so people I fought, 3 rage quit on me, and about 4 tried to cheese their way into Celestial by leaving the game so they don't lose the challenge. And this is absolutely normal, but it happens very rarely. Like, 1 of 30 people I play would do something like that, I'd reckon. This time, however, 7 out of 10 people exhibited this behavior, so I did what any sane person would do and I laughed at their inability to take an L. But then it crossed my mind and my detective instinct kicked in. There was something that I could connect to this phenomenon. Rating Upgrade, for those who don't know, is a third-party website that tracks players, games, and assesses their skills with a new system. I don't remember when it launched, but we were pretty happy with it since it gives us an actual idea of how good we are at the game compared to others. It was pretty cool to look at the leaderboards and find the best players, learn from them, or just watch them for fun, or just see your ego climb up. It eventually went down, however, but I believe it came back around a week before the event that I described earlier. There's gotta be a correlation there, I think, especially since everyone starts back from square one. Those people had a week to grind up their ego to get to Celestial, flex their gaming skills, and unfortunately for them and their egos, a random ass testament player from a country they probably can't find on the map with no more than 200 kills since I hadn't played the game and I definitely hadn't played ranked, and a mere level of 980 was beating their level 1980 and 1700 EVO characters. How the hell is this probe doing it? Why am I losing to someone weaker than me? This guy's gotta be cheating or something. And so they quit to protect their egos because they didn't know that at my peak my EVO was 1900 and I'm actually pretty hold up. Why the bloody hell does that even fucking matter? Blind pride can only hold you back. There are fighters out there stronger than the both of us. We get so obsessed over some dumb numbers on the screen and flashing medals and all sorts of other buka that is supposed to represent our status that we will go out of our way to find every single possible way to cheat our way out of a loss, cause baby that number must go up and only up. Like, we literally forget to have fun in a bloody video game. Brother, it's a video game, it's supposed to be fun, like, you're supposed to relax after work, drink some beer, toss a fireball or to have a great time, but instead we stress out over some meaningless numbers like it's a life and death situation. And a lot of people get stuck in this horrible mentality of this guy's worse than me, that guy's not, I will never lose to this or that rank, and this way of thinking has led so many fighting gamers to plateaus that you can't even count them all. Everyone has been there at some point, focusing on these dumb numbers and skill assessments, and it only slows our growth and leaves us salty and angry at the guy on the other side of the screen, doing heavy DPs all day long and having a blast while at it. So for those of you who related to what I'm talking about, or if you want to avoid that situation in general, or you just want to get better at fighting games, or whatever skill for that matter, well, this next little section is for you. Don't fight for victory. Fight to improve yourself. Victory will come. Playing fighting games over the couple of years I have been doing so has taught me two valuable life lessons. Number one is, if you put in time and effort, your labor will bear fruit and you shall enjoy its sweet taste. If there is one place in a fighting game that we respectable fighting gamers will always come back to, that is training mode, aka the lab. We spend countless hours practicing combo routes, punishes, mix-ups, nasty setups, hit confirms, you name it. This endless grind to improve leads into our matches when we land things that we could never before, and the hype is unreal. Shoot on kill, yeah. Barely. Well. No. Unlucky. Unlucky. I was really considering if I should bait that or not, and I decided on baiting it in the end, and Jesus Christ, it paid off. Wow. And the best part is that it's not just these complex fighting game things that we learn in practice. Like, have you heard of this thing called an anti-air? When the other guy jumps and you kick him out of the air, right? Do you remember when you couldn't do that? You probably don't, but you will agree that that was you at some point. Remember when a quarter circle forward motion was the hardest thing in the world? Yeah, I bet you guys can do it with your eyes closed now. Every second you spend playing a fighting game with the sole intent of getting better, doing things you couldn't before, evolving your game sense and mastering the system, it all pays out in the end. And when you do something so cool you even impress yourself, those little W's feel so great, and they will always do. And behind all of those, there's all the time you spend as an absolute noob grinding your skills in training mode, to trying really hard to do something in a real match. And you know what? You've learned the feeling of the W. You know what else stands behind it? Failure. A defeat learned from is more important than an empty victory. Fighting games taught me that for every W in our life, there are at least 50 L's that lead up to it, and fighting games taught me that it's okay to fail, it's okay to mess up. We're all humans after all, we ain't perfect. I learned to appreciate failure, and if I mess something up, that means I still have room to grow and I haven't truly plateaued. We learn by trying, and trying leads to failure, and failure leads to experience, and experience leads to mastery. In its very essence, confidence doesn't come from the belief we won't fail, but rather from our acceptance of the fact that we will do so. So don't be afraid to fail. Failure is your friend both in the video game and in real life. Society has imprinted this idea that we must be perfect at everything we do and that failing is unacceptable, but I say you give society the finger, and you know what? Go out of your comfort zone, doing all sorts of things. Whether you spend time practicing fighting games, or playing an instrument, or hitting the gym, or even giving public speeches, like whatever, just do it. Do it and learn from it. And if you want to move forward in any aspect of your life, well, you have to trip, and when you trip, you have to get up and you have to try again, and that's the only way forward. Moral of the story, don't quit in the middle of a match. You do a disservice both to yourself and your opponent, you mongrel. Every moment gives us a chance to become more than what we are.